Hey, 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 hey. Hey, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You saw I was in a groove. Yes, I was in a groove. I love that track. I love that horn. I love that sax. And there's some words to that song, and it's called Jesus is King. It's on my one of those CDs. I think Framework. It's called Framework, and it's vocals, and it's I just love that instrumental track. I remember being in the studio with this guy blowing that sax. It was an incredible session. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Bravo with Sheila. Ladies, let's chat with my co-host, Dawn B. We are ready tonight for you tonight. We're going to talk again. We like to chop it, and Dawn and I like to stir it up. We stir it up for you. We stir it up for ourselves. And listen, we're excited about tonight. We're excited about the topic tonight. We're always excited when we have the privilege and the opportunity to come before all of you, whether you're a female, a male, whether you're in this country or in another country. We count it a privilege to come before you, to chat with you for a little while. We pray that we've been empowering you, giving you nuggets that you can use. We pray that whatever it is that you need, you can pull something from this platform. And, we're going to get into it tonight. Tonight, we are talking about confiding a secret to an unworthy person is like, what? Pouring water into a basket. Now, this is going to be a hot topic tonight. This is going to be a hot topic tonight. So let's open up this Bravo show. Welcome, welcome. Once again, we thank you so much for being here. This is Bravo with Sheila. Ladies, let's chat. You know how we talk over here, how we chat over here. We have great conversations. And most of all, we're in your presence. And we thank God for your presence. Dawn B is in the house. We're going to get into this topic because I think that not only the chat will be able to share, but you will be able to receive something and really be able to measure yourself and where you are in this topic. So let me bring my co-host to the stage. Let me bring my girl up. Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
I am great. How are you doing?
I am good. I just been a little kind of off, not off, but today was really different for me. Today, this afternoon, and this early evening, I kept feeling God's presence on me so strong. It was on me so strong that I didn't want to do anything but bask in his presence. I just wanted to just it was just so good. It was just, oh my God, it was just such a it was just in here. And I could feel him, and I was talking, and I was moving from room to room and worshiping and just talking. And it was so heavy on me. You know that feeling. Sometimes it just drops on you. And I was like, oh, God, help me get through this program. This is not the Christian platform tonight. Don't let me start getting into a vein, get into that vein. And then,
any time. We are who we are.
Listen, this thing will flip in a minute how I'm feeling right now.
Say what now? We can have church. We taking it to listen.
Oh,
you're getting experience on Bravo with Sheila. You never know what you're gonna get. So
listen, and not even to mention, I never forget to send out the links. I never forget to send. That can tell you exactly where I am, where I was, and I'm waiting for you. And I'm like, wait a minute, let me check. And you says I didn't get the link. I'm like, Lord, you blanked everything out. And so I'm excited about tonight. I had to kind of bring myself and instead of me trying to ease out of it, I just kept playing more worship music. I I
Your
kept
step
going
is so
deeper.
far.
I'm just deeper and deeper. You know, when you're in that vein like that, you don't want no flesh in your space, right? You just want to
Listen,
go with him. But I am happy to be here because he's given us a privilege to be with people and women and men. Let's see who we have in the house. Oh my God. We got the Bravettes, we got Blind Guy, his wife, their life. Oh
all
my
right.
goodness. We got Ene. We have oh my goodness, you know, we are here. We are here. We are here. And they're typing already. They're talking to each other. And she's saying, oh my goodness, you know, we got the Bravette, the original Bravette. She says, wow, you look stunning. Me? Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
you do,
It,
ma'am.
it must be the Lord because I tell you, I didn't know what to do. I'm in transition with this hair of mine. So I'm like, Lord, help me, help me, help
You
me.
wearing glory well. You're wearing glory well.
Oh, welcome, welcome. Let me see. Oh my goodness. He says we could have kept that one going a little longer. I'm telling you, yes, yes, yes. I love that track. It's on one of those CDs that I did. And he's saying bravo to everyone, Blind Guy, his wife, their life. And you know, my dear friends, she had a birthday. Laquita had a birthday last week. I told her, go ahead and take out the whole month. Your birthday is the whole month. And
Right.
some if she wants it. Hey there, Ine. The host is definitely showing up and showing. You guys are so
Attendant.
you guys are so funny. Oh my goodness. I am so excited. I tell you, that thing been on me. Ooh, 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 ooh. The
Let
Lord
it
is so
be.
good. He is so good. I said, oh God, calm me down, calm me down, calm me down a little bit before I start speaking in tongues and praying and worshiping and and have
Let
look
it
turn this thing right into church.
let it be. Let them have it. Look, it takes a long time. What you got to go through to get to that space. So when you get there, you got to take advantage of it.
Listen,
Absolutely.
people do not understand what he has done for me. You understand what he has done for me. When it happens, it just turns on. What can I say? But tonight we are talking about well first of all, how you doing, Nisi? How you doing, co-host? How are
I
you?
am well. I am good. I'm well. I'm good. I'm happy. I am grateful. Uh, I honestly, and I'm not saying it because it's cliche, I have no complaints. I am, God is blowing my mind
Oh,
daily.
that's good. I
It's,
like that. He's definitely a
um,
mind blower, that's for sure.
so much peace. It don't even make no sense.
Oh, I tell you though, one thing you can't rattle with is my peace. Just don't mess with my peace.
Mm-mm.
Don't do that. But anyway, we're talking about the African proverb confiding a secret to an unworthy person is like pouring water into a basket. And I don't know about you, and I don't know about our friends in the chat, the brave brothers and the bravettes. If you have ever been through this, don't start nothing. Don't start. Don't egg me. Don't do it. Don't do it to me, please. It don't take but a blink of an eye for me to go in. And
Yes,
just
ma'am.
y'all better stop it tonight. uh,
Mhm.
then I got a worship leader right over there. Don't start tonight.
Okay.
But this is a very interesting conversation I wanted to have because I understand that many people, near and far, right, young and old, have dealt with broken trust or trusting people they thought they could trust. Or, it's just trust is a vast, vast topic that I want to get into. And so the
Mhm.
meaning, let me break it down for the meaning, and then I want to get into it in terms of your understanding, what you think, what you feel. And the chat, we got some good folks in the chat. I'm sure they'll pop on and jump on and say some wonderful things. So we all have a deep desire to want to trust someone. And that's only human. We are created to share our feelings and thoughts. That is why happiness cannot be found in living as a recluse. Mhm.
Mm.
Truth be told, it's hard to find someone who can be trusted. But as hard as it is, we have to find someone we can trust. The hard question is, who can we trust? You
Yeah.
will never find somebody you can trust with everything. You can find people, and I want people to talk to that because I don't know if everyone believes that. You can find people you can trust with many or most or sensitive things, but certainly not all things. Trust is earned. The person you trust is one who has proven to be true, reliable, understanding, understanding, serious, and tactful. The more of these qualities that you find in a person, the more trustworthy that person is. Nothing, I'm sorry, is as dangerous as trusting your secrets to an unworthy person. Let the church say amen. Mhm.
Amen.
Be careful whom you share your secrets with. It will save you from lots of unnecessary heartbreaks and headaches. Don't rush into judgment about a person. Be patient. The reason why I wanted to talk about this because this is a topic, this is a serious situation that people do not value in other people. There's
Mhm.
so many different dynamics of trust. There's so many different ways that you can think about trust on the job, trust in your family, trust. I'm going to talk about some behaviors that demonstrate trust, but people have trust, like meaning things that use words like ask five friends and you'll get five different definitions, right, of what trust mean. People have their own little slot of what trust mean to them. That's why, again, it's very important that you know who you're talking to. I always say that you have to have a safety net of people. Plus there are different kinds of trust. Number one, confidence trust, competence trust, relationship trust, right? Basic trust, authentic trust, organizational trust, self trust, situational trust, and leadership trust. And that's just a few. So when you say trust, somebody will just make it a blanket statement and say, oh, trust. No, there's so many avenues with trust.
Mhm.
Things happen on jobs, corporate jobs. I mean, menial jobs. And I don't mean menial. I shouldn't use that word, but I mean jobs from the corporate to the lowest. Let me say from the lowest to the highest.
Right.
Trust and broken trust happens on so many levels and so many walks of life where trust has been tampered with, you've been betrayed, whether in the workplace, whether a situational, a basic trust, relationship trust is a big one. But there's something so deep about trust and secrets, about secrets. Now that's where, and I'm starting out about trust before we even get to secrets, because the foundational piece of the secret is the trustworthiness while I'm explaining my
Mhm.
secret or sharing something with an individual or individuals that I believe has the capacity to deal or hold what I'm saying, right? But let's get into this conversation because for myself, I have dealt with broken trust on so many levels. Now, as a counselor, that's a stickler. I'm a stickler about confidentiality. People don't respect confidentiality. Chatterboxes, they don't respect that when someone shares something with you that's dear to their hearts, that is right there. That's an honor. I think it's an honor when someone can come and talk with you and share with you about the cup of their life or anything, and you don't realize that it's an honor that a person chose you to hold that wealth of information. What do you think?
Well, you have said a complete mouthful, and it's all true. You know, I think that we oftentimes we find out who we can trust by sharing what we feel we could not share.
Mm,
And it's the risk that we take. But at the same time, we also have to be honest about the people we're with. You know who you're with.
mhm,
I have a really bad habit. I'm loyal to a fault where I just don't want to see the bad in people. I don't want to, I'd rather look at the good in you. But the reality is that we have to know who we're with. Some people you automatically know that you cannot share certain things with them. You know through conversation. If a person is sharing with you what someone else has shared with them, you got to question before
mm,
you start to share your secrets with them.
Mm-hmm.
One of the sentences that we use to try to, make it nice is, okay, don't tell nobody that I told you.
Oh, yeah, that's usually
Right.
what's said prior to the
Right.
speaking.
Right. Which automatically sends a message that says, can I trust this person? At least for me, can I
Yeah.
trust this person with my business? My answer would be no. Because if you're coming to me in that confidence and in that trust, and I get it, on the one hand, you're feeling like this is a safe place because I'm not going to repeat it. But while I'm not going to repeat it, you're already repeating to me what somebody said. So I'm
Oh,
not going to share, you know, because
yes.
I don't know who on the outside you also may view as someone that you can
Yeah.
trust.
That's deep. That's true. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have to be realistic about it. And like you said, you two words that you mentioned that I actually wrote down when I thought about the subject was capacity and compartmentalizing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know the person's capacity that you're with. There's
Mm.
certain secrets that, is it a big secret? Is it a little secret? Is it something that I don't mind if it gets out?
There you
How
go.
much?
Then
So
you got to measure. You're right.
right. And
You
then
have
you have to compartmentalize how
yes.
much of this do I want to give? Because there's certain parts in my secret that I don't
Yes.
really care if you tell. It's common knowledge.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. And I had written that down. We're gonna touch on that. That's good because you're right. It depends on who you're talking to, and sometimes it's trial and error. You don't know if that person is. You may think that person is trustworthy. Like sometimes I say it's not the not the capacity. It's not the quality. It's the quality of the friendship, not
Hmm.
the quantity. Right? I
Hmm.
could know somebody for 20 years and meet somebody and know them for a year, and I'll trust that person that I met for that year with a
Right.
secret that I can't trust that person that I've known for 20 years. So you
Listen.
got to look at friendships. Let's see what the chat is saying. Blind guy, his wife, their lives says, I grew up in a big family and learned that trust goes both ways and to treat carefully before giving. Tread carefully before giving trust. Even see the family dynamic,
Yeah.
right? Depending on how many people in the household. There are people that have many siblings, where it's a lot of chatter, a lot of conversation, a lot of different bonding. Some sisters are closer than this sister. Especially I've had different people tell me, I said, what's it like growing up with a lot of siblings in the house? They said, well, I was closer to my older sister and my younger
Hmm.
brother. And,
Hmm.
and then I have to understand that. I said, well, what happened to the rest? They said, yeah, we were cool, but we didn't get along. And so now you even have some type of division, not for in
Within
the
the home.
worst way, but in the home where you can't trust. That's a good, I like that. I like that comment. And Nay says, betrayal of trust is probably one of the things that will help me quickly close a door on someone. I'm telling you, I love this. This is so true.
Yeah.
Broken trust can mess you up on the inside. It can block purpose. It can block you succeeding if you're not built to handle the betrayal. Broken trust can send you in a whirlwind in your mind, depending on what somebody revealed about you that you
Hmm.
trusted them with. And people do not understand. They just think it's blasé that they can just repeat something that someone said to you, especially like you said, Dawn B, if I say, please don't share this. So you don't put that. Can you,
The
this is
disclaimer.
the disclaimer. This is something I haven't told anybody, but I'm gonna trust you with it. And it may be that that's not even the person they should be talking to, but they got to get it off of them at that
Hmm.
particular time because timing is everything.
Yeah.
Timing is everything. Go ahead.
And say, a lot of times when you get into the family dynamic and even close friendships, when it comes to trust, familiarity
Mm,
can be what misguides us, because
true.
you can trust a person to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, then you think you can trust them with everything
Mm.
because of the familiarity. And oh, no, you know them in this way. You only know a person for as far as you've experienced them,
That goes
you
back to the capacity word.
know. And to how much experience you guys have had. So maybe you could trust them up to this point,
Yeah.
but now it's something else that's happening that is greater, that was too big for them to handle.
Yes.
And you can't trust them with that. I mean, I've been in that situation and had to learn the hard way.
Hmm.
Like I thought I could trust you with everything, but as it turns out, I can only trust you with this little bit here. So,
I've learned that too. I
mm,
think if we're human, I think we've all, even the chat probably can think like, oh yeah, hi M Mills, I didn't see you. Yeah, I'm sure, where I thought I could trust you with something, and then you held that, and then I'm thinking, okay, this is a safety net. I can come back here. But boy, oh boy, that capacity thing, they didn't have the capacity to carry that thing about you. Let's see what ML just said. I didn't even see her in the chat. People using against you what you trusted them with. Oh, that's a big one. That's
girl,
that's a biggie. That's a biggie. What is Sandra? She's here. She says, "Cause you are my everything, and that's a lot on you." She's talking about me. She dumps everything on me, but she knows it goes nowhere. She says,
right.
"Speak on it." Yeah,
There's a
because you
safety net.
yeah, you have to. That's a big one, M Mills. That is huge. How people will reverse and turn things. Oh my.
That it is big, and I find that in the dynamic of male female relationships
Mm-hmm.
with women, when we weaponize, when a man trusts us with information and then we weaponize it, we use it against like, ladies, save yourself, like,
I never.
don't.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, we do, and it's something we have to be mindful of because
Oh, that
you know
hurts.
we- and
Oh,
men's emotions are built different than ours are, so
yeah,
when you do that to him and then he'll shut down,
yeah, and vice versa,
yeah.
because and I believe like what you're talking about in the relationship. I, I'm such an open book and a trustworthy person, and I respect people's emotions and feelings and things like that. And I've been in relationships where I have shared situations about myself personally, right? And likewise, they have with me. And one thing I've never done, and I can say never done, and is say something I can't fix. Like, in other
Mhm.
words, use, like what she's saying, say something that someone trusted me with and they did something terrible to me, and this is my opportunity to get you
Right.
because you know what you did to me was wrong. I'll never pull up that data and spew it out my mouth because certain things you can't take back. And
Mhm.
so my integrity, even though they deserve for me to just they deserve me to do a hard hit with
Yeah.
some words, right? But in my own being, I'm not comfortable being like that. So I've never really, although it's been done to me, and when that's been done, it's a wrap. When you say something to me, I trusted you I'm talking about in a relationship. When
Mhm.
you pull something out that I trusted you with about me, and I say, I've never said this to anyone. I feel comfortable to say it because I feel safe with you and I trust you with this. Lo and behold, down the road,
Everything.
that thing comes back out of and you use it because of your own feelings or insecure, whatever it is I'm done. I
I'm
think,
with
and that's bad because I need an exit strategy. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sit here, but I got a plan.
no,
I
see
gotta
that.
exit. No, because that's broken trust.
Absolutely.
That means I can't trust you with me because when you're with someone, see, relationships is deep. If you're going through something with someone, the integrity of the relationship should always stand, even if you walk away from
That's
each
right.
other, whether it's a
Mhm.
marriage or a friendship or whatever. The integrity of how you started out, you have to go back to the foundational pieces. How did we start out this gate? We enjoyed
Yeah.
each other. We respected each other. What could possibly cause us to spew hatred as
Yeah.
if we're worse enemies? And that happens because of the emotional and the distrust. Let's see what M. Mills is saying here. This is good. My husband was a dirty fighter and would use things about my family to hurt me in an argument. See what I'm saying? And again, what happens with that is it blocks you, whether male or female, from being open with the
Mhm.
right people God may be bringing, right? So that means that next person coming got to wait and chip down some of that stuff
Right.
he or she didn't even
Didn't
put
do it.
up. So that's why trustworthiness is so very important in who you share. Even sometimes in a relationship, you have to know when you could share certain things with your mate. I'm not saying hold things back. I'm saying that there's growth.
Right.
Sometimes when you're
That's
here and
time.
he's here, or she's here and he here, you have to know when to release these things. If you already know, I can't say that yet because it's a
Hmm.
trigger for them, or you have to pay attention.
Right. Right. You got to, my thing is when they get to that point and we, when you are intentionally being malicious and using information to hurt me, it just, I'm with you. I'm like, oh, so so this is what we doing? This is what we doing now? That's what we doing? Oh, okay. Now, I like you. I will not, and I've been in that situation, in a marriage. And I was like, oh, all right. And no matter what he said, I was like, you know what? My response the whole time, and it's only I had to say because of God, like you said, and because of the integrity. And my mouth wanted to go left, and God was like, nope, I'm gonna need you to hold that. I said, okay. And I just kept saying, I'm not going to spew venom back at you. Like I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
What I did was I made up in my mind because you clearly were showing me where you were and who you were,
Mm,
and were you holding this all this time, to just waiting for the opportunity? Because it's only one of two things. Either you're saying this because this is what you feel and what you mean, because what you mean, or you're saying this because of what, or you're saying it because you're trying to hurt me. Either
mm-hmm.
one of those, the end result, it
True.
speaks volumes of how you feel towards me, whether it's male, female, or just general friendship. So
Yeah.
at that point, I make the decision. We don't have to do nothing else. You don't have to say nothing else. I make the decision that this is where I make my exit. And we have to know we have that power. You don't have to leave angry. You don't have to leave bitter. You don't have to be frustrated. Just accept the wake up call, cut it
Yeah.
off, and keep it moving.
Absolutely. And walk away with integrity, right?
Hmm.
Because this basket that we're talking about, God, let, let, let's see what blind guy is saying. And he's right. I let go of a lot of baskets that has holes in them. Listen, I'm telling you that that pain of trust, broken trust, and M. Mills is saying this too. She's saying exactly, I'm very cautious about being open with people because of that. See, so now God has to turn around and heal us and chip away stuff. So that's why it lesson learned. And like we said before, who are we talking to? People have to earn your
Right.
trust. It's a process. It really is a process because what you see is not always what you get. Are we sharing for feedback? Okay. Are we sharing our secrets if we're having a conversation? Are we sharing for feedback? Are we sharing for privacy and trust? Like, what are we sharing for? Like we said at the opener, confidence trust, competence trust, relationship trust, basic trust, right? Authentic trust, organizational trust, right? Leadership trust. That's another biggie. Trust in a leader that betrays you, a leader that's supposed to have gone through the channels of being what? Self assessment.
Hmm.
Even you find that a lot in churches that the call may be on their life, but their character has not run into the call yet. The call, we're
The
not,
twain have not
yeah,
met
God,
yet.
yeah, God called you, you called, but you ain't did the work yet to have the voice. The
Right.
character has to meet the call. Then there's a balance. But many times people put people in leadership because they see their capability or they need them in a certain position. And the
Right.
next you know, the flock, because their leaders is sent
Mhm.
to the leader, and the flock is not knowing those holes in their baskets and the leaders baskets, and they share something, and next thing you know, the pastor know, his wife know, the board, the trustees know, the praise and worship team know, and you walk in the church. I've been there, done
And they
that.
preaching about it.
Been there, done that. Been there, done that. Trustworthy. Yeah. And you find out someone comes over and, Sheila, you such. I'll be like, what? Who said that? Now, I know I only said it to one person,
Hmm.
right? So now slander on
Right.
me, chatter on my reputation,
Right.
because
Right.
that one person, right? So when you go through this several times, either it's going to give you a thick skin, right? Where it's skin like a duck and it's got to roll. The water has to roll off of you, or you're going to be hurt and bruised. But at some point, you got to deal with you and get healed from it because you got to keep living. And everybody is not the same. Being a custodian of somebody's secrets is a serious, serious thing.
Even when you don't understand, and even when you don't agree,
Mm-hmm.
the best thing to do, because I find that when people do trust us with something that say we don't agree with, we'll tend to, and maybe
Mm.
sometimes innocently or
Mm-hmm.
just unaware,
Mm-hmm.
will go and share that with someone else, trying to get a different view or
Oh,
perspective.
you talking.
It's that's real, and you may not mean it, and sometimes in those cases I'm like, if you're gonna, I don't agree with that, but I'm like, if you're gonna do that, at least say, the names have been removed to protect the innocent, just so that you're not exposing somebody's
Yeah.
business to
Cover them.
making it personal,
Right.
but make it generic, or just general, so that you might be able to, because when we don't, and
Absolutely.
then especially when we don't agree with whatever they're sharing, we are
Yeah.
quick sometimes to go and tell that, because it's
Yeah.
not a license for you to go, because now you're making it about you,
Right.
instead of this person came and trusted you with this information. They're not asking you to agree, they're asking you to listen. And we
Right.
just have to get
Right.
to a point of understanding where they are, whether we
I
agree
learned
or
that. I learned that. That's so good. That's so good, Dawn, because I learned that. I learned that I may not like what you did, or I may not like what you're saying, sharing with me, but I understand how you got there.
not. Hmm.
So right there, that understanding piece frees the person, because you know when you care about somebody, because you have to sometimes, in terms of friends or whatever, you have to share what you feel. If someone's coming to you and they're trusting you and they ask you, then they ask you, what do you think? So now
Right.
they're asking for your opinion.
Right.
Now they're asking for the opinion. And when they do that, you can be like, well, I don't really like how you did that or how you said that,
Well, I
but
wouldn't have done it that
I
way.
understand how you got there, to that place, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get zigzag in some stuff in life. You don't even like how what happened. You you you
I
don't
didn't
even
like it
like
myself.
you don't even like how you got there, but you're there, right? And when you hear
I'm
the
just as shocked as you are.
and when you hear the dynamics of the pieces of
Right.
how that person, you be like, oh, I never looked at it like that, or I never saw that. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Deep.
Listen, one thing I love about my best friend, my absolute best friend, I promise you, I said, God, you got to make me and her roommates in heaven. This is how it's, because we just, it's just what it is. But I can literally tell her anything 100% of the way that it happened. The
You don't
good, the
have to.
bad, the ugly. I don't have to hold back any pieces of it.
Mhm.
I don't have to sugarcoat it. I don't have to make it look pretty. I could tell her just exactly where my mind was. Yep, I was out of my mind and bat crazy in the moment. And this is where, just, and I can tell her that. And she never has judged. She's never been critical. And
Right.
she's never walked away.
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
That's a
in
jewel of a friend, because you
that,
don't even have to fix up the story before you get to
not
her.
at all.
You don't
Not
have
at
to
all.
say, I ain't gonna say that part. I'm gonna say
Mm-mm.
this part. You know what I mean?
I can come
You
just as raw if she was with me. It'll be like, look, this is what I did. Everybody needs at least one for. I'd be like, I did that. I did it. Listen, let me tell you, I'm shocked myself. Because I'm telling you what I did. I'm listening to myself like I
I
really
know.
what was
That's
wrong with
crazy. That's
me.
crazy when you have one of those, doing. When you have when you have that kind of situation and you even hesitant, you're like, oh man, I gotta tell her. And then you say, oh, I'm gonna tell her tomorrow. No, 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 I'll tell her the next day. You know you're going to say it because she's that friend, and you need that accountability. You
Sometimes I
need
tell
that
her while I'm doing
feedback. What you
I tell her before, during, after, but like I did it. I know I said I would, but I know you told me not to, but I did it. I did it. I did. Because I can trust her. Like now, she might be mad,
right?
and she might
Yeah.
go off. but I can trust her with that, and she will pick me back up from any. And that's the beautiful thing when you have someone that you can trust with all of you.
Yes.
I don't have to, make up myself. I'm gonna see all my scars, just my raw self. And she will pick me up off the floor, or she'll get down on the floor with me or whatever. She'll be like, but we ain't staying here.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
can trust
yeah.
her with me.
Yeah, I had
And
a
that's it
friend
is a
like that.
beautiful thing.
I did have a couple of friends. Unfortunately, it switched off. And I mean, one of the friendships was so close. I mean, so close. When she flipped on me, my heart, it took me 2 years for my heart, for that pain. You know that thing that's in your
Yeah.
heart when somebody
Yeah.
hurts you?
Yeah.
That thing you can't move. You can't move it. It's like you wake up with it, you go to
Mm-hmm.
sleep with it, and all you do is pray and ask God, God, please, please get this out of my
It
heart.
takes your breath.
Mess me up. I'm literally, I mean, broke me to pieces because she was that go-to, right? And it's not, this happened a couple of times. And so what that happens, like what M. Mill says, like it kind of causes you to back up and be more. I'm already an introvert. People don't believe that, but I am. I don't know. I guess
I have the same problem.
I'm already an introvert. Be like, nah, you're an extrovert. Nah, nah, I can be, but in who I am an introvert, right?
They
I
see
guess
what you do instead of
they
who
see
you are.
what I do. You put a mic in my hand, you give me a stage, you give me a platform. I'm comfortable. I'm
Right.
comfortable, but I have to tell people all the time, introverts, like although they may be on a stage or whatever, what you have to remember is the mic is in their hand, but the people are out there. So the control, you still got your, you
Right.
still, so the people out there. So you're just singing away or talking away, but
Like
the
I'm good.
people they can't, so that still gives you that introvert. Now let the show end, and I got to go off stage, and this has happened many times in different places in the world. And then I see the people, and here they come. I'm like, okay,
Here it
because
comes.
I really want to leave out the
Right.
door over there, but you can't. So growing up with a family where we had people in and out of the house caused me being an introvert to stretch, and that's how introverts are stretched based on their environment. If
Hmm.
you have an introvert child and you have like cousins and nieces and people are coming in and out your house, as they grow up, they stress. The temperament has been stretched more to where
Right.
they're more they can be more social,
Right.
right? They
Right.
can be more social, but people don't believe that. You ain't no, yeah, I'm an introvert, all right. Yes, I am. And I'm not bragging about it because sometimes it's to a fault, right? I could stay in the house forever, and I'll never come
Look,
out.
yeah,
People
I'm
have to
all
say,
right.
how long you been in, Sheila? When the last time you came out? I'll be like, well, oh no, you got to think about it. No, we're coming to get you. We're going to dinner or something
Right.
like that. So my point is that when you trust people, because I'm a trustworthy person. I don't care. Even when I've gone to the nations and different countries, I'm talking about church now, and I get there and it's places I've frequent before, and the women come over because I've done women conferences and stuff, and they'll come over. Oh, Ash, I want to talk to you. Want to talk to you? I'm like, okay, okay. And they pull me on the side and they start crying and crying and crying, telling me secrets that they've held for like 2 and 3 years, and I'm in the U.S. So there's no one in their country, in that church, that they could trust. And they like, no, I can't trust. I can't trust. And what they tell me is not even a major thing. It's something that I'll be like, oh, it's okay. Brush yourself off, get back up and move.
Right.
Oh, that's why I like talk, because you can't have judgment about people's lives. The most you can do is give some sound advice or love. Love never fails, right? So if you don't have nothing to
Right.
do, all you can offer is love. So let's see what M. Mill says right here. She says, my sister aunt is my best friend and confidant. We're only 2 years apart. I can be totally open and vulnerable with her. And I'm telling you, when you have people like that, where you could trust with your secret, and especially like you're in this public arena, and so the expectation of who you're supposed to be and what you should do and not do. Forget you a person and you bleed like the next sister.
You're right.
The
Right.
expectation is on you. It makes it more difficult, even that, to even have someone to talk to, someone to
Right.
really trust. I thank God I have now a couple of women that I can say anything to, right? Because they have the capacity and they know my heart, right? So it's about knowing your heart. Let's see what Kathy is saying. She popped in. Let's give Kathy a bravo. She's new.
Hey, Kathy.
She's new. She's the new commissioner of recreation of Mount Vernon, New York
All
City.
right, do it,
Public,
Kathy.
public bravo,
Yes,
public bravo.
ma'am.
It's my sister. She said, I'm loving this. So real. Trust is a major factor in our lives. Trust can hurt, bring you to tears, and you have to figure out how to breathe. Ooh,
Hmm.
drop the mic. You got to figure out how to breathe. That is so true.
All right, recovery is not easy. It is not easy. But the analogy using about telling your secrets to an unworthy person is like pouring water into a basket. It made me think about just the visual of the basket is like you can see the holes in the
Ooh,
basket.
yes,
You can see what the material the basket is made of, but you still make the choice to pour the water.
because it's fragile, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not secure.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
you,
we also have to take ownership of where we are placing our information, because again, if you see that we have some my job, we do wholesale and we make products, and some of the vases we have, they look like they are sturdy and made to hold water. Some vases are only made to hold
mm,
dry flowers, you know, because they're not sealed on the inside. So on
that's
the
good.
outside, they look like
That's
they
good.
can handle, but on the inside,
Yeah,
they're not treated as such.
yeah,
Some of you have to use a liner with, you
yeah.
know. So again, you have to know the people that you are with. You have to know if you are looking at them again and you can clearly see what they're made of. Um, and it's not a judgment in a negative way. It's you taking an assessment, an honest
Mm-hmm.
assessment to
Mm-hmm.
see,
Mm-hmm.
what can I really, and I feel like if you have to question if you can trust this person,
Mm-hmm.
then that means that you don't need to share. But
Right.
if I have to think about it and say, can I,
That'll
then it's not
preach.
the place.
That'll preach right there. The illustration of those vases. It looked like it can hold water. It can't
Listen.
even hold water. It's not built for no
It's
water.
not made
You
for that.
you better
And it's
cut.
not, and it's
You better
not an imposter. It's just doing what it was made to do.
you better cut it out because that right there will preach. You hear me? Let's see what we got here. We got some congratulations to Kathy. Blind got his wife. Their life says, bravo to you, Kathy. Keep doing the good work. And she is doing just that. She is. She is. She cares about communities. Okay, Kathy, you finished this talk. Kathy is saying thank you to everyone. And yeah, so when you have trusted friends, when you have people who you can trust, and again, sometimes you're going to lose some, you're going to get hurt because you have to find out sometimes who you're dealing with. It
Hmm.
may look a certain way, but what we said early on and what we was touching on is can they, do they have the capacity for your life,
Right. For your
not
whole
for
life.
your secret.
My goodness.
Oh,
Say
oh,
that.
for your life.
For your life.
Because I'm not in pieces.
Oh my.
And there's all these compartments all inside of Sheila. Whole lot of stuff. Can you handle my life without judgment? That's the
That part.
question. That part. That's the
That part.
question. Now I don't need you to just hold my secret. I need me to be able to come back with my life so that you can too talk back to me and give me sound advice. Like we said, are we sharing for feedback?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we sharing? What's the reason for sharing? Are we sharing because like you said, I need to say something to you. Please don't repeat this to nobody. I'm just telling you. Now, when you put that out there like that, and that darn person turn around, and again, you said, and have a best friend that they trust. So they're trusting their best friend with your stuff,
With your trust.
with your trust, and you believe this person you trust is not going to say anything because they've proven their trust to you. So
That
now you're
part.
that part, and then you share. And next thing you know, they call it telephone,
Mm-hmm.
post office.
Mm-hmm.
It went here, there, and everywhere. Just couldn't be, and then the person be like, "Well, I only told you." Yeah, but no, you had to tell because I only told. But I trusted. Now the friendship you have with that person is tainted, broken,
On both
maybe
sides.
not repairable because you didn't handle me right. Let's see what blind guy, his wife, and their life says. Dawn B has dropped the mic.
What I
Some of these cases are only for dried flies.
said. Listen,
where where there is no light. Let some of these dead relationships go. See, wait a minute. Okay, like we writing this down because all this could preach. You better write these things down because this night here we got some scripture. We can go hard with this. Wait a
listen.
minute. Wait. What she say? The, some of these cases are only for dried flowers where there is no life. Let some of these dead relationships
There
go.
we go.
And let the church say, Amen.
Amen.
Oh my God. Oh, wait. You gotta wait. I gotta breathe. Hold
Get
on.
arrested it for
Cause they done stirred it up.
lit.
They
That's what we do. That's what we do.
we done stir it up. We done
Let it
stirred
scrape the
this.
sides of the
They done
pot.
scrape this.
Scrape it, because that's where the good stuff
Oh no,
is.
we baking the cake and licking the bowl right now. Like forget the stirrer. We going deep with the finger.
Right. Because the spoon can't get it all. The finger now.
Lick that batter, lick
Listen.
that batter of that
Listen.
cake. Woo, this is good to me. So listen, so the basket should hold integrity, right? What should the
Hmm.
basket look like? The basket should be some pretty jeweled thing because you're giving a secret. The basket should be something dressed to perfection, right? Because what I'm sharing, what I'm giving is something so beautiful because it's my personal life, it's my personal jewels that I'm dropping on a person. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. So
Yeah.
we got to replace the holes in the basket. Mm.
I think you got to figure out, some baskets are just made that way. And then you just leave it on the shelf.
But why do people feel the need? First of all, well, I guess again, if we don't assess who we're talking to and we give too much too soon, because all of us are in our not yetness, right?
Hmm.
But again, if we don't know who we're talking to, that's why a lot of people delete themselves because they hold something that they have in their mind no one to share it with. And they believe, even though it's not a catastrophe, they see it and view it in the irrational
Right. Yeah.
eyes that it's a catastrophe, that no one will understand it. I can't tell my family, I failed my family, I failed my mom and dad, I failed my children, I'm a failure. And they can't even find one person to trust. And that just shows you the wiring of how we are. Different people
Hmm.
are wired. We have to pay attention to how people are wired, their strengths, their weaknesses, their needs, and their wants. Many people delete themselves because of something. And then when you find out after the fact what they was dealing with, you be like, what?
Right.
There was no one? Or they might have trusted someone before because they're fragile
Hmm.
and they were betrayed. I'm telling you, broken trust can take you on a ride. It can block you, it can stop you, it can talk to you if you don't deal with that thing and realize you can't give your power away like that. You got to
Yeah.
take it back and always remember it's not a catastrophe.
Right. You're not going through anything that no one else hasn't gone through before. It's just how you handle it, and you can't let that one person, that betrayal, cause you to shut down on the rest of the world. Even though it is hard to recover from, you know, because it really only takes one close person to make you distrust everybody. It
Mm-hmm.
gives you a whole nother perspective because you figuring like I What about when I did the work? When we 5 years in our friendship, when we've picked each other up, in different places, when we have supported one another, when I covered you and you covered me, and you're feeling that
Mm,
I trusted you with some big things in my life. So the little things that I'm struggling with, I feel like I can trust you with as well. But the truth of the matter is, some people are there, like, 911, we call when it's an emergency,
yeah,
and some
yeah.
people are only good in those type situations.
True. That's
But,
true.
you know, I'm gonna call them when my house is on fire. But am I gonna call them if I lock myself out? No, I'm gonna
Yeah,
call someone
yeah,
else. So
yeah.
it's really, again, just being aware of what people, like we said, capacity.
And what about relationships, though? What about when you're in a relationship or you've had relationships? And we said we touched on this earlier, but something just dropped in my spirit, right? Because we're quick to run, we're quick to cancel somebody out because of what we feel they did or said that they shouldn't said. What about forgiveness? What about the forgiveness piece? Now, you're wounded, you've been betrayed, you trusted this person that you live with, you're married to, or you're dating, or whatever, and they have used something that they know about you that hardly no one knows, or if anyone does, you've trusted them, and they use it. Is there a situation where you weigh it? My mother always said that when you stuck, Sheila, and you don't know which way to go, just weigh it. If the scale is here, you ain't is a done deal. You just weigh it. So when you weigh a relationship and say it's been going good, 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 and say something happens and this argument or whatever happens and stuff is said, and I'm not talking about on a regular basis, I'm saying
Right.
like all it takes is one time for trust to be broken.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. So do we weigh the situation and weigh the whole, even with friendships, it's like, all right, I hear why you said it, I hear why you did it, I hear why you repeated it. How do you, Patch, how do you go back from, how do you get back from that? That's kind of, that's
It's such
deep.
a good question. It's such a good question. For me, I just uh, it's a tight spot to be in. I will find a way to forgive,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes, or most often, my go forward has been I've had to disattach, because there's just certain things, certain words I will never associate with people close to my heart, like in a marriage or in a friendship relationship. There's certain words and certain things that I just will never put in my jar to use when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to you.
Yeah, I get
So,
that.
and because that's the way I'm wired, it's hard for me to understand why was this even in your, like, of all the things you could have used, or you could have said, or you could have
Mm-hmm.
done, why was this? So is this something that I shared with you that you were struggling with?
Mm-hmm.
And
Uh-huh.
again,
Yeah,
so now it's always, to me, like, either you said it because you meant it, or you said it because you're trying to hurt me. And when it
yeah,
comes to something that I shared with you, and now again you're weaponizing it against me, and we have to be very careful, because those who are close to us,
yeah.
there's certain things I just don't, I expect the attack to come from the outside.
But it's the expectation.
Right, right.
That's the word.
I'm
So
off guard. 'Cause-
expectation low, acceptance
right,
high.
right. So
Expectation low. So how about the chat? Let's ask the chat. Those of you in the chat, have you ever gone through a betrayal of trust, or shared a secret with someone you thought would guard you and protect you and cover you, and they broke that trust? Have you forgiven them, or have you been able to forgive them? Put a one in the chat if you've experienced broken trust. Put a one in the chat if you have experienced broken trust and you have forgiven the person or persons who broke the trust. Come on, guys. While you're at it, hit that thumbs up. Come on, put a one in the chat. Nobody wants to share. Okay. Blind wife, his wife, their life, a one, yes. And Mill says yes, yes. And nay, she says yes. Okay.
And
Yeah.
forgiveness has to happen because
because
it.
because you become, no, but you allow yourself to be vulnerable again. There are
Mhm.
many people that are still sitting on the fence right now, not being able to trust anybody from one relationship
Right.
that they went through, that they haven't healed, they haven't assessed it, they haven't given grace, right?
Mhm.
Wait, wait. Oh no, wait, I didn't forgive. Nope. Okay.
You have to rethink that. It's like, wait, hold on. Like, nah.
And they says, I'll be honest, I betrayed someone's trust by mistake and felt awful. See, that's, I'm telling you, it can happen by accident. It can happen not from a motive, a place of intent. It
Mhm.
can, I'm serious, things happen. That's why I'm saying we always have to understand the dynamics of the story, how it happened, why it happened, not that it just happened.
Right. The
Because once
intention.
you just say it happened, you're not leaving room to understand how that person got there or
Right.
how that trust was broken, because there's scenarios that you might say, I would have never ever forgiven that, but after I heard how it happened, I had, then I understood, even though it was
Yeah.
done, right? So that's what I'm saying. How do we get there? And Mill says, she says, I forgave but never completely trusted them again. Okay, so there's boundaries there.
Mhm.
Okay, so you can forgive with boundaries in place. Kathy put a one in. Kathy has a one in. There's boundaries, right? Because some
And
things are
boundaries are
worth
good.
saving. Some things are worth building back up again, but with boundaries and barriers, but yet being cordial or whatever. It depends on the dynamics and the ingredients
Mhm.
of that relationship, right? I've had to many times think, is it worth it? Is this
Yeah.
relationship a total withdrawal, or have they deposited as well?
And I think sometimes it's hard. Like we have to really think about, even with forgiving with boundaries and regrouping, you have to understand that things will still never be the same.
That's what she's saying. I
You know,
forgave, but never completely trusted them again.
right.
That's
And
exactly what that
and that's
means.
okay.
Yes.
You just have to know they will never be the same, and you have to learn the new thing that
To
it now
accept it
will
that way.
become. Right.
Yeah. That has happened. That has happened with me, then, and they try to, and I don't desire it for it to be as close as it was. I don't need it anymore.
Right.
I
Right.
don't need it. Right? When I needed the friendship, we were cool, we were great, but I've gone through a period of pain and hurt and disappointment. And although you added to my life on different levels, I
Mhm.
weighed the friendship or the relationship, and I said, do I throw it away, or is it worth bringing it back where it's cordial, where we could
Right.
see, especially if it's a family type situation, somebody, that person's part of
Mm.
the whole family dynamic, and that person was a
Yeah.
part of this kid and the god, then you have to weigh it,
You gotta find
but
a way to fix
you
it.
have to still protect yourself. Let me see what Blind got his he's okay, yes, I betrayed trust accidentally. And have forgiven others who accidentally betrayed me. I didn't extend grace and forgiveness to the intentional ones. Amen. That's good. That's right. That's right. That'll
I'm just
work.
drawing the lines.
That's it. That'll work, because life happens. Life be lifing, and it happens, right? And
It
so you got
does.
to be open enough to understand the dynamics of how that person that was once so close to you, because you're in shock. You're
Right.
in shock when something like that happens with someone you didn't expect to do that to you. You're like, no, you will bet money. You'll be like, no, you stand up to another person and say, no, they didn't.
You sure will.
They didn't say that.
Sure will.
They didn't do that. And you find, because that's the relationship that you have with that person, then you find out. But then I said, be healed enough to hear what happened, and then you make the assessment on how much you can trust that person again if you have. And like Emil says, she says, let me put this up. She said, if it is done in a mean spirit way, they meant it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they show you who they are, believe it.
Believe it, right. You
Yeah.
have to figure how much of the relationship can you salvage. You
Sandra says, I have been lied on, but since I'm so open, I really never care if you tell my whatever. Yeah, she has this thing with her. She don't care. I do, but she don't.
I
She don't
can
care.
get it. I can
You
listen.
know.
I've learned not to share anything that I don't mind being repeated. Just
Mm-hmm.
simply because you never know. You just never know.
But see, you mess with an introvert. We already an introvert. So introverts are deep within. You know, when you study temperament and stuff, all the prophets were introverts. You know, the crying prophet Jeremiah, Moses. I can't.
Right.
Send somebody with me. You know, they all were internal people. And so when for me, here's the things that mean a lot to me. Everything: trust, reliability, dependability, loyalty, and honesty.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's Sheila. That's those things. When you start tampering, because I'm like 170, 200 in my loyalty, right?
Right.
So
Right.
when you tamper with that, it messes me up. It really messes me up. So when that's tampered with, the dependability, the honesty, the loyalty, you know, those things are really the things that are very, very important to me. Let's see what Kathy is saying. She's saying that's what I said. Is it worth it? Did they really screw up? And it all depends if the secret that was told was vicious to hurt me. Yep. Exactly. So here what we're going to do before we close. This has been so awesome. So here's this is something I want you guys to think about. It's the 10 behaviors that demonstrate trust, and it's like your own personal assessment. So trust impacts business results and all the different alignments that we talked about. Demonstrating trust, we perceive ourselves as trust and trustworthy. But do others perceive us that way? It's hard to accurately judge ourselves, to see our own behavior and its impact, right? So let's have a little fun for a second before we close. We're going to take a self appraisal, a
Let's
self
do it.
appraisal. You ready? We're going to do it. Let's.
I'm ready.
You ready? Let's see what
I
M.
got my
Mills is
pen and my
saying.
paper.
You got it? I found it very hard to find trustworthy people other than my family. Amen. Thank God you got family that you can trust, you know, because sometimes family, just because you blood, that don't mean they family.
That's the
You know
first
what I
thing.
mean? Yeah, sometimes, you know, and I don't mean that in a negative. I mean, sometimes, you know, the family, they say family are your relatives. You know, because you can have family and you can't trust them. I mean, just because we have the same bloodline doesn't mean my character and their character
Matches. Right.
matches. But when you do, and you're grateful enough to have, when you're blessed enough, I should say, to have family that you could really go to and tell everything and be, you know, tight with and share everything, I think that's a total blessing. A
Yeah.
total blessing. So we're doing a self appraisal. Here are 10 behaviors that demonstrate trust at work. How many are part of your operating style? Your operating style. Blind guy says, I trust me. He said, they say, I trust me.
That's good. That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah,
one to start.
that's a good one to start. And Mill says, not all family members. I hear that. So here's number one. You're influenced more by your actions than your words. You operate as a message, not the messenger, with an alignment between your words and actions. Mhm. Your influence more by your actions. I'm sorry, you influence more by your actions than your words. Number two, you are self aware. You recognize the impact of your beliefs and actions on others and are tuned into others' needs, strengths, and perspectives. Mhm. Now we self assessing.
Mm-hmm.
Number three, you give trust first. Mm. You realize authentic trust evolves incrementally over time, and the way to start or rebuild trust is to give it. Mm. That,
That's
that
a
could
hard one.
that could be a that could be a hard one. That could be a hard one. Number four, you use trust elevating communication techniques. You own your message, actions, and mistakes, and authentically show up in the process. You own it. Mm,
That's big.
that's big. Number five, here's a good one. You bring the best of who you are to work. You operate from a best of self core with characteristics like kindness and compassion and love and tolerance and trust and integrity. Number six, you want the best for others. You want the best for others. You aren't playing a work game where only one or two people win and the rest don't. But help to make the pie bigger for everyone. See, these are things that this is trust now.
Mm-hmm.
Number seven, you tell considerate stories. You understand the stories you tell at work are impactful and choose stories that positively influence the culture and those in it. Because the job, we didn't even talk about the workplace with trust and the chatter and the lies and the setup. And you supposed to get promoted and they set you up and sabotage your promotion. And you trusted her with the work that you created. And look, that
Don't make me talk about it.
I've written programs for youth, and they said, "Oh, next thing I know, they stole the program." I mean, listen, trust. We could talk about it on every level. Here we go. Number eight, you operate with dependable politics. You get things done the right way with ethics, integrity, and positive intention that builds relationships. Mhm. Number nine, you collaborate, cooperate, consider, and contribute. Now that's good. You got the C words going on. Collaborate, cooperate, consider, and contribute. This is the full spectrum of trust. You do what you say you can do and will do, and you do it well, and you enable others along the way. Because trust, jealousy can break down a person to cause everything they said. Okay, we're not gonna mess. Okay, we won't go there. We won't go on what we won't go with the murderous spirit of jealousy will do
Mm,
and break trust just so they could elevate on your back.
just
Okay,
so.
uh, okay. Number 10, you demonstrate competence as your starting point. You do what you say you can do, you will do it, and you do it well, and you enable others along the way. And there's so many other dynamics of trust. The bottom line is people don't give their ideas and efforts and enthusiasm or best work to people they don't trust. Be the person they do give their trust to, and you'll harness the power of trust in your work group, in your life, and everything, in every place that you go. Trust, the trust that is broken that you try to get back, the trust that you feel you've been betrayed, the secrets that you have shared with people and they've manipulated, right? The question again is, can you protect me? Can I trust you with me? Not my secret only, but with me. Let's say hello to the brave bro in the house, our brother.
Hey, Sir Hale. How you doing, sir?
Sir Hale is in the house. He's greeting everyone. He says, "Hey, Bravo. Hey, Sir Hale." He's saying hello to the chat. I tell you, this conversation has been incredible. Let's see. Kathy put something up before we did that. She said, "We are family by birth, but friends by choice."
Mm.
That's right. So we had a wonderful time talking about this incredible confiding a secret to an unworthy person is like pouring water into a basket, into a basket. Be careful who you share with. Be careful that people that you share with your secrets and your life and your being, that they have the capacity to understand your life and not judge your life, but to help you get to that place called there,
Mm.
right? I may not like what you did, but I can understand why you did it and how you got there. Take the judgment out because love never fails. Go ahead and give these last words. This has been so incredible. Thank you for passing through. Thank you so much. He says, we're all passing this integrity test with flying colors. All right, there we go. There we go. We are the crew right here. We
Doing
are
it.
the crew. We're doing it. I tell you, this has been incredible. I can't wait for our next show to chat again. I tell you, I pray that this has given you some hope, to hope again, to love again, to trust again, right? To understand the guidelines of speaking a secret before you speak the secret. Even though you say, I don't need you to tell. Can I tell you something? I don't want you to tell any. Don't do that. Because once you say that and that person go ahead and just devours you by sharing your secret with somebody they think they could trust and think they're not going to talk. It just breaks down the trust factor for relationships, and it's too much work to undo, right? We're trying to take layers as women and men, layers of trauma off, layers of pain off, layers of dishonesty that has been done to us. This is how we do it. This is how we do it, by thinking about it, being self aware, and understanding that trust is something we cannot tamper with. Dawn B, give us the
Yeah.
last words.
As always, I say, trust your voice, trust your own voice. Assess a thing, accept it for what it is, stand in your truth. It's easier to kill something before it starts than to let it out there and let it grow. With that being said, in the sense of keep your secrets to yourself because it's easier to protect them and you before you let them out and someone else drags it along and lets them grow into something else, and damages a relationship. But always just put forgiveness in your pocket, extend grace where and when you can, and again, trust your own voice.
All right. Well said. Trust your own voice. And I think that is well said. I do believe that keeping your secrets to yourself, to cover yourself, to protect yourself is very important. But I also believe that many times people keep secrets that are detrimental to their health, to their mental.
Mhm.
And in those cases, I would say do not keep your secrets to
Yeah,
yourself if you cannot handle it and it's chipping away at your life and chipping away at who you are. That's when you reach out for help. That's when you pray that you have that safety net that you can go to, that friend that Dawn B was talking about, the friend that I spoke with, the friends that I'm talking about, that you can go to with any and everything with no judgment, because secrets weigh you down.
yeah,
Secrets, so many people of color, so many of us in our family bloodline, we can take this back to slavery, have secrets that families to this day are protecting, and the young ones can't hear it, and then you find out later down the line, oh, what I mean, you find out you're sleeping with your brother, you sound friend, you find out you're sleeping with your cousin.
mm-hmm,
Secrets can destroy you.
yeah,
Secrets is something that can chip away at you, but I'm saying protect yourself, but always sit in you and find out and measure where you are in yourself. And if you feel like you're depleting and you feel like this thing is too heavy to carry, that's when it's time for you to find someone to share what you're carrying. Sometimes you just have to take a risk, right? Sometimes you just got to risk it, because guess what? At the end of the day, it's not a catastrophe. You can get up from it, brush yourself off, and keep it moving. And that's a rational thought we must always have in our mind. It's not a catastrophe.
that's
So
right.
it's been awesome. We love you, Dawn B and I. We love you so much. It's been an incredible chat. I hope to see you soon. What's today? Thursday, Tuesday,
Today's
Wednesday. I can't
Tuesday.
keep up. I
Because
can't
you
keep
stuck in
up.
worship. You stuck in worship.
Listen, I was caught up in a place before let me tell you, I could that thing was on me. That spirit of the Lord was sitting on me all day, and I couldn't even get on here with, oh God, I was in glory in here. And I was like, Lord, 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 help me before I get on this channel to bring me down in a
This
little bit
enough
of
to make for
space.
a minute.
Oh, it was so good to me.
He lets you
Sometimes
have
when
a lunch break
listen,
so you
when
can
you're
do
in glory, you don't want to be around no flesh. You don't want to be around no people. You just want that thing,
Yeah.
behind that veil. So thank you so much, M. Mills and Sandra. Listen, Lady Navarre, hi. I didn't see you. All of you, Blind Guy, his wife, their life. Y'all tune in. Go subscribe to Sir Hell's channel. and Blind Guy, his wife, their life. Sarah, thank you for stopping by, popping in.
Yeah.
Kathy, you know I love you, my sister from another mother. Sandra, you know you the slash girl. We got, she calls me all, we got all these different relationships. Listen, did I miss anyone? Those of you who are in the bleachers, those of you who are not in the chat, God bless you. Thank you for being here. Remember that when nothing changes, nothing changes. Remember that when nothing changes, and I'll see you on Thursday. We'll see you on Thursday. Isn't it Thursday? We'll be back.
Thursday, yes.
We'll see you on Thursday. Should we do a little soft close? We do a little soft
Go
close?
for it. Go for it.
A little quick soft close.
Go
All
for it.
right. All right. Here we go.